Paul, you've got a cake in the oven.
I do.
What kind of cake?
It's a rich fruit and ale cake.
Oh, rich fruit and ale. Just what you need on a Sunday.
With tea.
I think so. Welcome. Bloody welcome. This show is called
Sunday Chat.
And I am Richard and you are
Paul.
Oh, and this is our lovely, cosy little Sunday chat on a wild, windy, wet and inclement day where we're waiting for the cake to bake so we can eat it.
Not all of it.
Not all of it, no. We've been quite good recently, haven't we, Paul?
We've been a little better.
Well, we've had to take control of our constantly expanding waistlines and cut down on things like bread, bagels, crumpets, all of those gorgeous, filling, fattening things.
We haven't had any crumpet for ages, have we?
No, not for about 20 years.
No.
No. Joking aside, we were eating too many things. For the past year, during lockdown, we have been eating too many bready things.
Well, I suppose that part of that baking was sort of, I enjoy it. I'm going to be making a loaf, and if you're not going to eat it, that's fine.
Well, no, but I think the thing to think about is adding lots of lovely ingredients like seeds and nuts. Really?
I will do that.
Yes, so there's more seeds and nuts than dough.
But did you think that you were you were a bit wheat intolerant with...
I just feel as though I'm getting fatter and fatter and fatter.
Right, okay.
That's the thing.
It's a good thing I'm just making cake then and not bread as well.
But I also notice when I do eat bread, I do feel rather bloated with bread. When we eat too much. I mean, we can get through a packet of bagels in a flash. Literally. Can't we?
Well, 2 days.
Not if you count snacking.
Not if you count your snacking.
And the thing is with crumpets, and for those of you who don't know what crumpets are, they're lovely little sort of things. What are they? They're like a sort of little muffin type thing, aren't they? With holes in them.
They're effectively baked on a griddle. So where an English muffin is baked in an oven, these are baked on a griddle, and they're only baked from below. So the holes that develop in the top, which are fabulous for butter and things to drop into, they develop, and they're lovely.
Are they an English thing, do you think, crumpets?
I think they're a British thing.
Yes. And they're very, very gorgeous with cream cheese on them, or in fact grilled cheese on them as well.
They're just fantastic.
But we've been eating too many because one has to eat them rather quickly because they do go off.
No, they don't.
They do.
They go into the freezer.
Well, they're no good in the freezer. No, they need to be in our tummies.
I might make some crumpets. I was looking at a rye and wholemeal crumpet recipe the other day.
Lovely. We've got to get through that cake yet. That huge cake that you've baked.
It's not...
It's enormous. It's filling the whole oven. No, it is. And that's going to be nice with a little bit of buttery spread on it, isn't it?
It's a cake. It doesn't need butter as
it's
well.
It's more like a fruit loaf.
No, it's not. It's a fruit cake.
If I say fruit loaf, it somehow feels healthier.
Yeah, so that you can have butter on it.
And jam.
But we're not having butter, are we? We're having Flora.
Flora buttery, proactive, cholesterol-reducing spread.
Yeah.
This is not a paid promotion.
No.
But they can pay us if they want to.
Yeah, and then we'll say it's a paid promotion. Yes. But this one isn't.
No, but it does work. It reduced my cholesterol.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's... Mine went down, but mine's pretty low anyway.
Good.
So, yeah. Where he has quite a thick spread, I just have a little bit.
Well, look, if your teeth don't sink into it, there's no point.
And he likes his crumpet crunchy.
I do like a crunchy crumpet.
Yeah. I got chastised a few weeks ago.
Yes, it wasn't crunchy enough. They
No.
were too soft and slightly soggy.
I gave him a soft and spongy one and he wasn't happy with
No,
that.
I like
He
mine
wanted it hard and crisp.
hard and crisp and crunchy with a crunch that it yields inside.
There we are. There we are.
A yielding crumpet. Yield to the crumpets.
All of the truths coming
Yeah,
out.
let's get on with the show now, Paul. Our first item is the weather.
The weather.
Bloody awful.
It's wet.
This is Saturday. Saturday. What's the French word? Is it samedi?
Samedi.
Samedi. Today.
And Sunday is
Dimanche.
dimanche.
So,
Today
What was
is
it?
Samedi.
and it's very, very wet, cold, rainy, soggy, damp, inclement. And it's lashing. It's lashing against the windows. Isn't it, Paul?
It was this morning.
Well, it just was now when I popped to the loo. It was lashing. It was quite good, actually. But very, very wet. Very changeable.
When I wake up in the morning, whenever I wake up, if I can hear, we've got a what do you call that halfway up the house? It's like that lintel. There's like a bit of, what's it called, slate. There's like a slate lintel that goes along the side of the house, and it's sort of my side of the bed. And I can hear water dripping from the eaves onto the lintel, and it goes up.
People know what dripping sounds like, Paul. So, very changeable.
Changeable.
Changeable. This
That sounds
week.
that sounds like changing the bed linen.
Whatever.
Chambre, blah blah.
Whatever, Paul. What was I saying?
You were saying about the weather.
Changeable. We had snow though. We had snow, as you've seen. We did a couple of videos about that, which is lovely.
I got thoroughly excited.
And that's all gone now.
Yeah, it's all gone.
All gone, finished, fini.
I'm quite pleased it's gone, because you can get on with other things, you know. So yeah, I loved it coming.
Well, you can't get on with other things if it's absolutely pissing it down, can you?
Well,
No,
I might be
can't.
going down later and tearing up cardboard in the shed.
Well, things like that may be, but one can't go out and about.
No,
No.
we're not really going out and about at the moment anyway.
It's the end of janvier.
Janvier.
La fin de janvier. And
And
we're
we're getting
glad.
into
Février.
February.
So we're glad, we're pleased. One is pleased about that. Goodbye, January. Don't come back for another year.
Well, it won't. Well, actually, it will,
Why?
because it will be back in 11 months.
Yes, but that'll be in the next year, won't
Why are
it?
you playing
Paul?
with my hair?
Because it's feeling rather dry, and I'm wondering whether it would be good to exfoliate with. Anyway, let's move on because we've got lots to get through. So, Guernsey has gone back into lockdown, Paul, hasn't it? Smooth, a little bit of serum maybe at some point.
I
Why
think
is
it needs a
feeling-
cut.
It's feeling very dry, Paul. It's all of that bleached area from the summer.
It needs a cut.
I'll give it a cut.
Yeah, give it a cut.
I'll give it a cut.
Was it invasion of the body snatchers last night?
Why?
Because you've like changed today, you're like all nice.
Well, if it was, I wish they'd have given me a different body.
I don't think that was part of the sort of
The
what
deal.
happened. No. Yes, Guernsey. They had 4 community-driven infections on Friday of last week. So what's that? That's now 9 days ago. On Saturday morning, bang, lockdown came in.
Good.
And yeah, good. You know, it's what's needed. And they found out within, I think, half a day that most of those infections had come from two places, a pub called the Ship and Crown and a restaurant called the Crow's Nest. And of course they did test and trace like they can in Guernsey. It's a small place, but you know, small communities really work. This is where small communities really work. So yeah, there was I think there's 172 cases now. They haven't had any since, or haven't had any community infection since May, I think it was, and they've lived sort of without restrictions from June. So it was quite a lockdown when it came in. But good on the States of Guernsey for taking action so swiftly.
Good.
Mum was a bit upset, but you know, that's understandable. And also, until they knew sort of more about the infections, Mum had some of her care taken away. But fortunately, that's sort of back in place now, so that's great. And thanks to all the carers that care for Mum.
Yes,
you know,
thank
yeah.
you. You do a marvellous job.
Yeah, I hear your, you know, some of what goes on vicariously through Mum, so that's great.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Excellent. We'd also like to say...
and my brother, of course. I mean, my brother tells me what's going on as well. Yeah.
We'd also like to say a big bloody thank you to our coffee supporters on our coffee page. We're very, very grateful for your support. It's going really, really well. Lovely.
It is. It's fab.
Extra content. Bonus content.
Mini pants.
Mini pants.
Mini pods. Casts.
Mini. Podcast, mini and maxi.
Podcast, mini and maxi.
Yes, admittedly they do sound slightly like panty pads, but
They do.
maybe we could do our own range of Richard and Paul's panty pads.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Because we're getting to that age where
Yeah.
maybe we could start using a panty pad occasionally.
Mm.
A long day out, need a pee, no worries, just go in your pants.
There we are. Easy.
I wonder how much pee a tenor man will hold. Will it hold a full pee? Are we talking about just a slight dribble?
I think
It's interesting, isn't
yeah,
it?
maybe we should test it.
A test.
We could do a video test of that, couldn't we?
If they want to pay us.
Yes, yes.
Lovely. So, Paul.
And other things as well. So you've got my upload each day of a shot from the plot, which is a photo from the plot, which is normally taken that day. And then there's other things. There's Sunday Chat Extra on Coffee as well. There's some other photos you upload.
Yeah, we've said bonus content, Paul.
Bonus content.
People need to discover it if they want it. I want it, don't you?
I want it.
Yeah, I want it. Yeah. Lovely. So that's good. Now, Paul, this is the point in the show where we talk about Paul and those lovely little things that Paul does in videos about the place down the road.
The allotment.
Now, Paul, you've introduced recently a new series.
I have.
And it's very interesting and going jolly well, isn't it, Paul? Tell the viewers all about it. So your first one's called Grow Along with Paul. That's not expand along with Paul due to the cake.
No,
It's about
definitely
those
not.
things that come up from the ground
Plants.
and we eat them occasionally.
So yeah, I've got a grow along series of videos where you can grow along with the seeds that we're sowing.
Very exciting.
There's a video of all the vegetable seeds that we're going to be sowing this year and what variety of vegetables those are.
Now, tell us at this point in time and space, what have you actually sown? Because people think you can't actually grow things in the winter.
Well,
but you can, can't you, Paul?
You can. I mean, it depends where you are. You know, if what you need to be wary of, I've said this on 2 or 3 videos now, but what you need to be wary of is when your last frost date is likely to be. Because you don't want to be planting plants out
and then killing them.
Or that frost is going to kill them. So you need to sort of work back from your frost date. And in fact, in seed packets or on seed packets in America and Canada, they very often say sow X amount of weeks before your frost date, your last frost date. But
so is that because they'll start getting going, and then after the frost date you put them out.
Put them out, yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
just understanding that.
So, as I've said, if in a number of videos that I've done in the Grow Along series, if you've got lights and you've got heated propagators, that's absolutely fine. But remember that those plants will want to go out at the optimal time for them, and that may be before your last frost date. If you've got a heated greenhouse or a polytunnel that they can go into, then it's different. You can get away with it, but do be wary about not sowing too early. We're certainly trying not to sow too early.
It's a shame that plants can't speak, Paul.
Well, maybe they do.
And tell you, put me out now.
Yeah, but it might not be the right time for them to go out.
No, but they would tell you when they were ready.
Well, they would tell you when they're ready, but your weather might not be ready for them to go out. Gosh, that's a heavy plane going over.
Oh, that made me jump. I thought that was thunder.
No, it's a plane.
Oh, God, that did give me a start.
So I've already sown peas, mange tout, and sweet peas, and corn salad, coriander, and parsley. I've sown aubergines, which are actually in the house. The rest are all in the polytunnel. And there's also a video talking a little bit about seed trays and some of the paraphernalia we use.
Lovely.
And also how to make your own little windowsill propagator from mushroom trays, the field mushroom trays that you get. So, yeah.
And I also noticed that Vivi was doing microgreens. Are you considering doing anything like that, Paul?
It's really funny because Vivi and I mean, we talk a lot, but we don't really plan ahead of the videos we don't talk about the planning ahead of the videos that we're going to do. And very often she'll put up a video and I'll think, yeah, I'm doing that in 2 weeks' time, or vice versa. So
great minds think alike.
It's going to be interesting because we will be sowing peppers at very similar times. Most of the peppers that we're going to be sowing, in fact, all of the peppers we're going to be sowing either saved seed from a Morrison's pepper I saved, or from Brian, or from Vivi. So it'll be interesting to see when she's sowing hers, which I think is going to be the middle of February, and we'll be doing the same. So,
and hopefully your peppers will do a little better than they did last year, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, Vivi's did really well. Her paprika peppers particularly. Ours were all green. Most of ours were green. Did we eat
them anyway?
We still got some in the freezer, yeah. In fact, are those from last year or the year before?
Better get eating
I can't
them.
remember. Did I do peppers last year? I think I may not have done. Better get eating those.
No, we did the year before because I put some of them in.
Yeah, I said the year before
we did. And those ones
did.
grew really well, didn't they, Paul?
I don't think so.
I think they did.
They were the ones that were mainly green. Yeah.
Now, the other thing you wanted to talk about to the people, les peuples.
Purple. Purpley. Purpley.
The purple people eaters. Was that you're doing a new thing which will involve our website and something called a link.
Yes. I was doing the upload for A Week at the Plot this week, and I thought, actually, I wonder when I did X and Y, two things that I'd done during the year. So I went back to see which video they were in, but I had to go through each video. So what I've decided to do, and it was really for myself, is go through all the A Week at the Plot videos and list the tasks that I did each day. And then I thought, you know what, this is quite useful, because sometimes people say, when did you do those blackberry cuttings, let's say? And I sort of go, I think I did them then. But now I've got a day-by-day list of not everything that I've done, but everything that I've shown on A Week at the Plot is now in a list, and I'm going to share that on our website. And next to the task for that day will be, or is actually, a video link to that particular episode of A Week at the Plot.
That's fantastic. La fantastique.
So if you go to Richard and Paul, and if you go to richardandpaul.com, there's a Files tab now in the menu, and you can download the PDF from there, and it's a searchable PDF. You can't alter anything. in that document, but you can search it. So if you look up cuttings, it will sort of come up.
Oh, that's very, very clever, Paul. Well done.
I think it's useful.
I think it sounds fantastic.
I mean, it's going to help me for when people say, when do you do that? When did you do that? You know.
Lovely. Lovely.
Oh, and I'm also going to take you through in another segment my Excel spreadsheet that I use for keeping a track of when I'm sowing things and when they're germinating and blah, blah, blah.
So for all of you gardening fans, I'm sure that will be a great resource for you. No, I think it will be. I'm serious. Lovely. So that's all good. So we have also been thinking tentatively about
playing in the rain, pondering things, plasticine.
We have been tentatively thinking about the possibility, that was the word I was looking for, of going on holiday this year. Les vacances with the Tittington Smythes.
Yes.
And I did have a lovely long conversation with Lady Tittington Smythe, Felicity, the other day via Messenger. Marvellous, absolutely marvellous. I loved it. It was like having her in the room. It was so clear, the clarity, la clarité.
Did you do video chat with her?
No, we didn't do video chat. We did talking on the talking bit.
All right.
The audio. It was marvellous. So we are hoping that the virus will be over by the summer.
Well, it won't be over.
Well, you know, at bay.
At bay.
At bay. By the summer, l'été, and we'll be able to get together for a little holiday in North Wales with the Tittington Smythes.
That would be lovely.
In their gorgeous holiday home. And that was it really. Hoping, praying, looking forward.
Yeah, there's vaccines being rolled out in the UK. I think I'm scheduled to have mine in May. So
I can have mine now.
You can. Well, you being NHS doodah.
But we have to travel to get it, and one is not going to be doing that.
Right.
No.
Well, you have to not just travel. You have to travel an hour
public
away.
Transport. I don't think so.
Or zip car. We get a zip car.
I'm sorry. I'm not paying 50 quid to do a 3-hour round trip.
Well, it's not 50 quid.
Or whatever it is.
It'd be 15.
Well, maybe. We'll think about that.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
I'd rather just pop to the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, I think, more local centres would be great, but I know the NHS is doing exactly what it can within the greatly restricted funding that it has from our government, but we won't go into that.
Anyway, let's move on to lovely subjects, such as what have we been watching on television this week? It's been a bumper week for TV.
It has.
And we have kind of put Bridgerton to one side for the moment. Wait there, we'll come back to you.
Yeah, we haven't,
It hasn't hooked me in yet.
No.
Fun.
But what Lady TS has watched it all,
She loved it. She loved it.
She said that there were some raunchy scenes in it.
Yes, I mean, I've not got to that part yet.
Well, we did.
There was some raunch.
We got to whatever her name is.
I think it gets raunchier.
She was philandering her Fangita, wasn't she? That's what she was doing.
Fangita, Paul.
I just did. I thought, what? Yeah, okay. We get the message. We don't need to see the
you don't need to drag
culmination.
It out.
No, we didn't.
Don't drag it out. So we put Bridgerton to one.
I have to say, with sex scenes, you sort of get the message, now move on, aren't we? Yeah.
Yes.
Bridgerton.
I've said that. We have started The Stand.
Oh,
The new version of The Stand, starring Whoopi Goldberg.
yes.
Yeah, lovely.
Yes, love Whoopi.
Love a bit of Whoopi. And we've started that. How many episodes are we in?
3, I think.
3. Very good. Compelling.
If she sat on the sofa and you sat on top of her, would she be a whoopee cushion?
Oh, God, Paul.
We liked the original Stand when it was done. It must have been done 20,
years ago,
30 years ago or something.
Ago. Well, yeah, and I love the book.
Yeah.
Let's just clear this up now, once and for all. I am not a mega Stephen King fan. I haven't read all the books. No. I've read a few.
Well, you've read more than a few.
I've read a few. And I liked them, but I tried a couple of the more recent ones and kind of didn't get into them, although I did enjoy Doctor Sleep.
Under the Dome.
Under the Dome I enjoyed, yes.
And
loved
that was
Under the Dome.
Big book.
Oh, that was great. Although I didn't enjoy the TV series.
No.
Because they changed it too much. Yeah. But anyway, The Stand, watching that on Stars Play.
Yeah,
Aren't we?
yeah.
A new app.
Yeah.
Well, not new, but...
Yes,
yeah.
new to us.
Yeah,
new to us.
So that's lovely. We also decided to start watching Castle Rock.
On Stars Play again.
No, that's not on Stars Play. That
Isn't
was
it?
on Prime.
Was it on Prime?
Yes,
Oh,
I think.
it was on Prime.
Bloody good. Season 1, really good, compelling viewing. Absolutely excellent.
3 days.
Set in
took
the
us.
Stephen King universe. So very familiar locations in Maine. And yeah, thoroughly good. Thoroughly recommended. Very good story starring Bill Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
Who played the creature in It. Not going to tell you anything about it because it's just good. It's really good.
It's funny, you've got Stephen King in Maine, and obviously you've got Jessica Fletcher in Maine. Yeah, she's Maine, isn't she?
Is she?
Yeah.
Is she, Paul?
Is she?
I don't know where Cabot Cove is.
Cabot Cove, Maine.
Is it in Maine?
It is in
Are
Maine.
you sure about that? Don't say things you're not sure about, Paul.
They're sort of opposite ends of the spectrum
Are they?
in many ways. Yeah.
So anyway, yes, lovely, lovely. We also...
It was quite dark.
Oh yeah, but very good.
Very good acting.
Very
good acting.
It wasn't unnecessarily gory.
No, it wasn't.
That's
It was
the
a
thing.
psychological thriller.
It's more psychological.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, also we rewatched a BBC show,
Oh, we did, yes.
Back in Time for the Corner Shop.
Yeah.
Now the Back in Time series, there are a couple of them at least, are it's a kind of social history experiment, isn't it?
Yeah.
A reality show where they take a family and they place them in back in time in points in history and put them into situations. So the first one we saw was where they changed their house to olden times and the family have to live in the house. But the corner shop one is set in a corner shop.
And their parlour, effectively, their living room, isn't it? 'Cause
Is
it-
changed as well.
Yeah.
So the shop is changed and it goes all the way back to Victorian times. To begin with.
1897 it starts.
And it takes them all the way through to the 90s.
1997 it finishes, 100 years.
Yeah. So that was fascinating. Charming show, available on BBC iPlayer. I don't know whether it's available in the States.
I'm sure it is.
And it's kind of how they cope with all the challenges of the different eras. So it charts their successes and failures and challenges throughout all those eras in those settings. So we thoroughly enjoyed that. Really got on with that.
It was really interesting. You also learn things that you don't know. So I didn't realise that in the 1920s and 1930s, the Sheffield steel mills went into decline due to cheaper imports of steel, which of course is something that happened recently as well. But then the steel mills then picked up again during the Second World War because they were making munitions. So it was really interesting looking at something that was really 100 years ago and 90 years ago, and paralleling that with the situation that we had in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, intriguing.
So that was very enjoyable, very enjoyable show.
And a good family. I mean, a fun family. We were talking in bed last night saying, those families have to be really, well chosen and be up for it.
It suddenly got brighter outside. I do hope the sun shows its face today.
So do I.
Anyway, we also watched some classic 70s television, The New Avengers.
We did The New Avengers.
Now, for those of you who've maybe never seen The New Avengers, this was the show that made Joanna Lumley famous. She played the character Purdy. Purdy was a big deal in the 70s.
Oh yeah, huge.
She was a fashion icon. Joanna Lumley was a model, a fashion model and actress, and this show kind of launched her success.
Catapulted her, in fact.
But her haircut
was
the big deal, wasn't it? The page boy haircut. But we say we enjoyed it, but it was really light viewing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah,
But
it's comforting viewing as well. I mean,
Purdy was kind of known for her sort of high kicks, wasn't she? My knee cracked then.
It did. It's like a whip crack.
But she used to literally go, that's it, and people would fall over dead. So she was billed as beautiful and deadly.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be Purdy.
And Mike Gambit as well.
Yeah, Mike Gambit, I mean, bless him. He died, didn't he, a few years ago?
Yeah, we were talking about that. It was about 10 years ago.
Gareth Hunt, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Played Mike Gambit, and of course, Patrick McNee played Steed.
Yeah.
And of course, this was a continuation from The Avengers, which was the original TV show, with Diana Rigg and various other people. Yeah. But yeah, bit of 70s nostalgia for us. We were children.
I'm sure it used to be Friday night, 9 o'clock.
Was it Friday?
I'm sure it was Friday
9
night.
9 o'clock?
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
I don't remember it being that late.
I think it...
No, it wasn't.
Well, we'll have to have a look. I thought it was 9 o'clock.
And then, of course, Joanna Lumley went on to play Sapphire.
In Sapphire
and Steel.
With
David McCallum.
Yeah.
And then her career there was a bit of a lull.
Well, I think she did incredibly well.
She did theatre.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is...
And a few films.
When you do incredibly well, you can decide that you're going to, take a break.
No, her career did have a lull, and then she was relaunched by Ruby Wax.
Yeah.
On the Ruby Wax show. And then, of course... famously got the role of Patsy in Absolutely Fabulous, which most people know Joanna Lumley for.
And then, of course, she's gone on to do Fabulous Travelogues, which we really enjoy.
So that was fun, wasn't it? We continue with The Expanse, which is so immensely tense now.
But so satisfying.
We're building up to the finale. Which I think is maybe the next episode.
Not sure.
But we're also, I'm watching the Amazon Prime show on YouTube, which is the After Show.
Oh, right.
Where the stars discuss each episode, and that's fascinating as well, because I think they're great actors. And they talk with the writers and the producers, and it's really good. And it's hosted by Wes Chatham, who plays the role of Amos, which is a great role, and he's lovely. He's adorable, in fact.
And there's another season or half season, isn't it? 6 episodes that they're doing next year, and then that they're closing it off. I think.
I don't know. I've not heard about that, but
Which
that's
is a
good.
which it's great to have things closed off, but actually the Expanse is just such a love it.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and
so original. I mean,
it is original, even though it's a sci-fi. It's kind of based in. It's more realistic than most sci-fis.
Yeah.
Yeah. You show the effects of something exploding in space and the knock-on effect that has. Whereas most things are all do shoot and fast-moving action. Whereas this tackles some of those real issues that people have to cope with, like oxygen depletion, debris in space, all of those bits and pieces. Anyway, we won't labour the point if you don't watch it.
But we do love it.
We also continue with Drag Race as well.
Yeah.
But it's weird because it's become lower on the priority list for us at the moment.
Yes.
We've tended to focus on other shows. Plus, it's being fed to us weekly.
Yeah, I think that's quite different. I think if it was there, we'd be watching it. But of course, Discovery and The Expanse, we watch those really as soon as they come on.
No, but we binged on Castle Rock.
Yeah, we did.
So that's kind of taken over. So anyway, but continuing to enjoy it, but I don't feel as familiar with the Queens. I don't know why.
Ginny Lemon I love on the UK.
I know, but I don't feel as though I've really dived into it fully this time round.
But last time we were watching it, you were watching an awful lot of RuPaul and listening on YouTube and listening to a lot of podcasts and things like that, where this time that's really being replaced by you watching The Expanse on, the extras for The Expanse on YouTube.
I've also been watching on YouTube the Joe Rogan Experience as well, which he's talking with people about things like science, technology, UFOs, Bob Lazar, who worked at Area 51, things like that. I've been sort of dipping my toe into those subjects. I try not to go too far down the rabbit hole with those things, but there are a lot of credible stories about alien craft, dare I say it, that supposedly the US government have at Area 51.
Why is it always the US government?
Well, because
you don't. I mean, Australia is a huge landmass. You don't hear about the Australian government hiding.
Because potentially
the Indian government hiding things.
The US government have taken their research as further than other governments.
Russia?
I assume. Well, we don't know anything about Russia, do we? That's the problem. Whereas things have been leaked about the US stuff, or the US government have allowed things to be leaked. We don't know. But there have been quite a few stories recently about craft that have been filmed by pilots.
Yeah.
So, there's all of that linking in, but I love all of that stuff. But like I say, I try not to go too far down the rabbit hole because it can send you a little bit cuckoo.
When we were on the canal last week, I saw something in the sky, and it was black, and it was moving, and we decided that it must be a high up drone.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely a drone. But we didn't hear it, did we?
But we didn't hear it. You normally
noise.
hear it. There's quite often in the summer there's a drone somewhere going on when I'm at the plot, and I can hear it sort of buzzing away. But you couldn't hear this one. It was quite high up as well, and we are relatively close to Heathrow.
But it wasn't reflective.
No, but
it wasn't glinting. So I think it was a drone.
We decided it was a drone because that's the most likely. Reality, but who knows? But
the other spacey kind of thing that I wanted to talk about, because I do actually like all these subjects, I do, is February the 18th, date for your diary. That's when Perseverance lands on Mars. Launched in July, It is bearing down on Mars at 20,000 kilometers an hour at the moment. Yeah. And of course it has to be slowed down dramatically
Otherwise
in
it'll
order.
crash.
Well, it's called the 7 minutes of terror, where it has to be slowed down to the extent that it can land on Mars. And of course, this time round, they've got their own drone on board.
Oh yeah, they have.
They've got a little helicopter. I think it's called what's it called? I wrote it down. The Ingenuity helicopter, which is going to do a little fly around Mars. Oh, I can't wait. That's so exciting. I do hope that it's successful. I really do.
And obviously...
Yeah, I hadn't finished talking, Paul. It's a point of interest. Obviously, it costs billions to make these craft. And, you know, it must be completely nerve-wracking for them.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
When it gets to that point of going through the Martian atmosphere, because Mars does have a thin atmosphere. And, yeah, hopefully not crashing.
That's what I was going to say about the drone, because Mars has got it's
a thin atmosphere.
thin.
Yeah.
And the drone will have to really spin, won't it, to keep it up?
Yeah.
Have to spin sort of, because effectively on Earth we're going through the thin air we go through is actually quite thick.
Well, it's not
compared to Mars.
Yeah,
you
we
know.
don't know. I mean, if you do that, you feel it, don't you?
Yeah, we're sort of
Feel the
walking through a
resistance.
light liquid, effectively.
Yeah.
You know, on Mars it's completely different. So I think the blades, I wonder how they changed it to make it uplift.
Yeah, it's had to be designed in a specific way to cope with that atmosphere. So that's all fun
And will that
exciting.
work?
I love
I
that.
don't know.
So, silence. It's time. Are we still recording, Paul?
Yeah.
Good. It's time. It's time for Word of the Week.
What were?
Oh gosh, forgotten how to pronounce it. Yes. So the word of the week this week is Lamprophony. No, it's not a type of lamb curry, Paul. Lamprophony.
Lamprophony.
I'm going to spell it. L-A-M for mother. P-R-O-P-H-O-N-Y. Lamprophony or Lamprophony. But I think it's Lamprophony.
Is it a swearing sheep?
No, it's nothing to do with sheep or lambs.
Is it a sad reflection of people who are rude in life?
No.
Is it something else?
No, it's not. It's not of those things, and you won't be able to guess what it is.
Is it lamprophony? Lamprophony. Is it thinking about the future in a negative way?
No. It means a loud and clear voice.
Oh, I don't have that.
It is the loudness and clarity of enunciation.
Enunciation.
Something that I have.
You do.
Yes.
You do. I don't. I've got a little lisp anyway.
You haven't got a
And then I
lisp.
just ramble. I ramble.
Maybe you've got an oversized tongue. Maybe you should have a speech assessment or something.
Assessment.
Anyway, that's it. This is the end of the show.
It goes back to that woman's thing. I talk so slow.
Oh, yes, that was rude. Very, very rude. So we're going now. That's the end of the show. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye.
Is that it?
That's it. We're done. We've done the list.
Done the list.
Don't do that, Paul. Thank you. Bloody thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being genuinely lovely people apart from that person. who was rude.
I don't think she's there today.
No. And if she is... So, take care.
That's very rude doing that.
What is? I think it's lovely. So, that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being lovely. All of those things and more. Super duper special. Special. I'm special.
You are special, yes.
And thank you. Take care. Say goodbye now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.